are special, but these two are very special because they're here. And they're going to be joining me for some quick fire questions about their film, which they're going to tell you about, and their lives and skills in general. So please welcome Alexis and Ben.
Woo!
What's up?
So I don't need to ask you your names because they're on the screen and I've just said them out loud, but where are you dialing in from?
We are dialing in from our studio in South London. We're in London at the moment.
And how's lockdown in London?
I mean, we wish we were out in the countryside for sure. It's quite urban and grey, got to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's doing the best they can, I think, at the moment.
Doing community yoga?
Yeah, lots of, I mean...
Ben said no.
I'm just...
Drinking?
Yeah. That sounds really somber.
Just getting by. We're okay. We're okay.
Let's talk about the film. It might get depressing. So what film have you made and why should we watch it?
What's your name and where'd you come from? We've made a film about running, a running film, and it's a feature documentary, and it was shot in Tajikistan last year. We went to Tajikistan to shoot it with 3 friends who basically set out to run from one side of Tajikistan to the other, from the border of Afghanistan to the border of China. And yeah, we'd never been to Tajikistan before or even really had heard of the country. So we jumped at the chance to go and shoot it, to be honest.
Yeah, and then we edited it during lockdown number 1. And
here we are.
Yeah, basically come out with a film that's done pretty well.
Yeah.
I didn't really expect.
That's quite the pivot. You'll be training for cyberspace next, or whatever we're supposed to be doing when we're not being artists.
Yeah,
that's what we've been doing today, isn't it?
Yeah, our careers.
You learned to edit on one of those online courses while you were doing sourdough baking.
Yeah, exactly. We learned Premiere on the way back from Tajikistan on the plane. Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's serious or joking.
No, we're joking. We're joking.
We're very experienced.
Did you study film?
I did. Yeah, I studied film at University of Hertfordshire. Big up. Did 3 years of doing film and TV production, but don't really use much of those skills now. Sorry, yeah, because it's very TV.
Yeah, I didn't study film at uni. I studied languages.
At Cambridge.
I studied university. I'm really great at languages.
I think we're trying to see kind of where you get your characters from. Should we talk about the characters? Because you're being a bit like the characters at the moment. So tell us about the characters.
Yeah, so I think the great thing about our film is these 3 people that are in it, and they're Gabe and 2 people called Jodie, a boy and a girl, Jodie and Jodie, confusingly, and they're mates, which is one of the best things. So they're actually a little gang of friends that went to go and run this. They're not they are athletic, but they're not professional athletes. They're just normal people with 9-to-5s, which we loved because I think it then shows you that kind of, I mean, these guys are really into running, don't get me wrong, but anyone can kind of go out and do something a bit wacky, like try and run from one side of a country to another. It's not like you have to just be going after a medal and going after some sort of, world record. They just really wanted to get out of the office, ditch their desks and go.
You say they're normal, but they are actually quite wacky, aren't they? I mean, one of them's,
yeah, that's
really wacky.
That's what I think warmed us to the whole project as well, not just the idea of going out to Tajikistan to film like some mental landscapes. I think all 3 of them have their own kind of character and persona, and I think, yeah, like you say, especially one of them is just as you'll see if you watch the film, quite mental.
Gabe,
yeah, and they all have different qualities. It's just it's really nice.
Yeah, and they play off each other. So when they've obviously never run this far before or ever done anything like this kind of scale. And Gabe especially he's only done 1 marathon in his life, and he's about to try and run 10 marathons in a week. And he's done 1 marathon where he was drunk, hungover. He ran it straight from a nightclub dressed as Jerry Halliwell. And he's just kind of doesn't really take running very seriously. And it's just we were just so intrigued to see what would happen when you put someone like that in, in those kind of environments. And
in this film, he runs most of it wearing a Mickey Mouse sweatshirt, which, considering most of the athletes in our films are heavily sponsored by, some futuristic nylon, is really quite an improvement.
I know. Gabe's there and he's in a homemade vest with Mickey Mouse, the sleeves cut.
Absolutely no technical gear. I mean, it was the first time he'd worn a race vest as well. And probably one of the first times he'd used a watch as well.
Yeah, he doesn't usually run with a watch or a race vest. He actually ditched the race vest a few days in because he didn't he just ran with a bum bag. and he kept getting
Yeah, we kind of answered which is our favourite character inadvertently. Sorry, Jodie and Jodie. But which characters would you have eaten, or which character would you have eaten had the truck have broken down? Or would you have eaten each other?
Ooh.
Gabe's probably not got enough fat on him.
I would say
not say the other two.
I would say JB.
Guys, he looks quite curvaceous.
I would say maybe JB.
The two drivers would have had to have eaten first.
Yeah, we'd have eaten them first. We could have got some good steaks out of Orzu.
All right, moving on. So on Instagram, you guys do seem a little bit millennial. I have to say that, Alexis, your Instagram says that you're pasta based.
Oh my God, where are we going with this?
And into fermentation.
Yeah.
You want to explain that for the audience? You can say no.
No, I love pickling things. Not gonna hide that. I'm very proud of my pickling. I love to pickle.
And weirdo runners.
Yep. Fermentation and long distance running. Yeah.
Do you guys run?
Yeah.
A bit. Not consistently.
No.
But we sometimes do the odd 14K and then wonder why our legs hurt.
Yeah.
Specific 14K.
I just did a run the other day and it was 14K.
We're not very consistent, but we can run. Well, our jobs require us to be quite, if we're doing something like this expedition, you kind of have to get out the car and be able to leg it with a camera. So you can't be a complete marshmallow. You do have to be able to heave the kit. So yeah.
And you're doing kind of circuits through lockdown as well to stay fit for lifting up your Red or whichever camera you have.
I mean, it sounds sad.
We don't have a Red. Thanks for bringing it up.
Sorry. Anyone can give these guys a Red?
But we do circuits.
We do circuits.
We do.
Okay. And do you have a particular song that you do your circuits to?
It's called Energy by Disclosure at the moment.
Nice.
It's quite a good song.
It's such a banger.
Yeah.
So you guys are getting
on.
This is what's terrible about the system is I try and go faster than I interrupt you.
Sorry.
It's a banger. Disclosure. No, it's my fault, not your fault. You're being quite, we do this, we do that. Are you guys dating?
No, we're like brother and sister.
Oh.
No, yeah, we're brother and sis.
No, we're both in relationships, but we've been working together for about 4 years now. We started a company a couple of years ago together. We're both freelance filmmakers who kind of joined forces, and yeah, we are like yin and yang. We're like joined at the hip. So yeah,
that's very cute, but not quite as rommers as I was hoping for.
Sorry.
That's fine. What's your best thing about 2020?
Ooh.
I mean, to be honest.
I think this film.
Yeah, the film. I think had this film not kind of been seen by as many people as it had, and kind of don't want to use the word successful because that's not ultimately why we tried to.
Us, yeah,
but it's kind of.
Had we not made something we're so proud of?
I think I would have been very it was struggled to find any kind of happiness in this year if we spent all that work and just to not go anywhere.
Yeah, but we were digging in lockdown. It was actually so nice because the inbox was kind of empty and everyone was just leaving us alone. It was lovely, and then we could just be like, cool, we just got one project, and it's like an ice sculpture, and you don't really know what it's going to be, but you've just got this block of ice. You just got to kind of hack away at it for days on end, and then you've got it and you're chipping and chipping and chipping. So it was actually we would just never have had the time to do this and make it what it was.
So you think that it wouldn't have been as good if it wasn't for lockdown?
Definitely.
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, we may have lost.
Well, because also no one was really paying us to make it. It was a total passion project. We didn't have any clients hanging over our shoulders like we normally do when we're working. So it was actually just lovely because it was just our own gut, the kind of film we wanted to make as filmmakers. So that was really amazing.
Yeah.
Do you think that will change the way that you approach projects in the future when you're making something like this?
Definitely. Sure. Yeah. It's made us realize wow, when we put our heads down and do what we want to do and do the projects that we believe in and the stories we want to tell, we can actually do something really great and make something amazing we're proud of. So actually, I think it's really given us a bit of a fire up our, backsides to kind of believe in ourselves a bit more, I suppose, as filmmakers. So yeah.
Because it's, I've said it's effing good. And you can't just say COVID or lockdown. You've got to pick a word apart from those two. What's the worst thing about 2020 for you guys?
I would. Oh well, no. I suppose that is kind of COVID related. I was going to say being
related. You just have to give me a better answer than a word.
I would say being stuck in London we just travel, not travel abroad, but we're we camp a lot. Like we'll go out and you know just get on a train and go and camp somewhere, or we'll go running, or we'll just go take our bikes, or we love just kind of getting out, lighting a fire, just you know being in nature. We've been stuck in London quite a lot, and that kind of gets to you after a while. You know, London's great for work if you have to work here, but we're kind of jealous of anyone that lives, you know, with countryside on their doorstep.
Like where we are.
Yeah, basically.
It's all right. I mean, it's pissing it down today, and we're all stuck in the office anyway, staring at screens like right now. So same, but different. Yeah. Okay, so apart from this film, what's your other favourite film? In it can be anything.
What in
all the world?
Oh, in all the world.
Legally Blonde.
Mean Girls.
You're laughing like that's not true. It's true for me.
Oh, it's very true. Yeah, it's very true. I think one film that, if I probably say it's one of those questions, isn't it? When you say the answer and then you think like an hour later, you're like, why did I say that film?
Yeah. Like, why did I say my favourite band was the Black Eyed Peas or something?
Yeah, one film that I always have loved is probably Hot Fuzz, because I'm very inspired, and Edgar Wright, the director, has just inspired me from a very young age, and I just love that film.
Actually, the intro for Running the Roof is very Edgar Wright inspired.
It was inspired by that a little bit, yeah.
So yeah.
10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 for the intro. Definitely watch the intro, guys. I mean, watch the whole film, but you know, the first
we hope
minutes is brilliant. That leads me on nicely to, do you have any mentors?
Ooh.
Mentors?
Like people we look up to.
He's like, no, I made it all myself.
Myself. Alexis, yes. She's my mentor. Edgar Wright. Done.
See question 14. Mentors, God.
You really have made your own way. It doesn't sound like you've had many people sort of being, you are going to be fantastic if you just don't do this and do this.
No, we're really quite alone in that regard, aren't we?
Well, that's kind of sad. But
yeah.
People you meet along the way, really. But I know, like, serious. Oh God, I was gonna think an hour later, like, why didn't I say this person?
I think we're very it sounds so naff, but I think we push each other a lot, which is really good. And I think I'm kind of, I'm quite a sharp-elbowed feminist, and I get a bit like, there are no other women holding cameras, and you will give me the camera, and you will listen to what I say, and my ideas are good. So yeah, I think we kind of we push each other, which is quite nice, because I think we're quite competitive with each other, but we're also quite
are we?
We quite respect each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So like, if you do something,
I think that was the general editing, running the roof process was kind of, because we were apart. So Lex was in the Peak District and I was in London still, and I would work on it for a week and then I'd send it to Alexis and she would work on it for a week and send it back. And it was kind of, you know, we'd have a chat on Monday morning and it'd be like, why have you used this shot? Or like, why is this bit in there? And I'd have to kind of like, you know, defend myself, like, oh, because it's amazing. It's a really good shot.
It's the only shot we can use.
And it was kind of that, it was really nice though to kind of do that, because I think had I personally been doing it, editing the whole thing on my own, and you know, you kind of get a little bit of tunnel vision. So you kind of start going down a little path and you think, yeah, this is great, this is perfect, this is as good as it can be, and then you come in and go, just like destroy it, but in a good way, you know, like kind of, I don't think that's, you know. And
also, like, sometimes when you're working on a film like this, it's so big, and a task can take, like, a little tweak might take like 6 hours to fix, or find me another scene, or find me another clip, or find me something else to go there, and you're rooting through like hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes of footage looking, and you know, you could feel confident saying to someone else, like, Ben, go and find me that, and so then you can be like, okay, I'm not worried about the whole film, I just have to do this one task. And so it kind of helps you break it down, because I think making something like Running the Roof is just such a big, it's actually quite overwhelming. When, do you know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. I mean, that's the thing I was worried about the most, but we organised it quite well.
Yeah, we were very meticulous with organising the footage, and I think that always helps.
When you were filming, or in advance, or both?
When we were filming.
Yeah, well, when we were filming, we were just ingesting, like, you know,
every day that we could
in a tent,
in the back of the car. We were just constantly like keeping logs of everything. When and I think that's when film set training comes in handy, and just being very, very meticulous about kit.
How old you guys are?
I'm 20. I'll be 29, 28, and Ben's 27.
You are pretty young then. That's well done in a condescending way, really.
Mm.
So,
Thank you.
I feel like,
go on.
pardon?
Pardon? No, I thought
Oh,
you.
no way.
Well, you've been filming for a long time.
I just feel I feel old.
What do you want to do when you grow up or get out of lockdown, depending on what happens first? But maybe you've already grown up.
What do you want to do
cyber.
when you get out of lockdown? Yeah, we're going to retrain and get into cyber.
Yeah, me too.
Whatever.
They are no good to me now.
Lex is going to own her own fermenting pickle shop.
Start a pickle shop.
Clearly.
Yep. And you're going to probably just go like live on a cliff somewhere and be really grumpy and just kind of, herd some sheep or something.
Yeah.
Make us another really great film.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go and we just started the pre-production for another film, so we're really excited of we have to actually not get too excited. We have to finish running the roof and enjoy the process of getting that out into the world before you dive into the next one. So, but this is all new to us, so we're just carving out more time for these projects now because we realize how much joy it brings us. Yeah,
we've got the bug now.
Yeah,
and hopefully, it absolutely sucks we can't have you here with a live audience, but I know I can see that people have already started using the comments. Audience, use the comments section. If you go onto a film on the Kendal Mountain Festival player, underneath the screen there's a magic tab and you can talk to the filmmakers like they're sitting next to you and they respond, and you can say, I thought this bit was great, and they'll say, well, thanks very much.
I thought it was crap.
I thought it was awful.
See that I'm leading with positivity.
Most of them are negative.
So I'm going to get these guys to say goodbye because we don't want to take up too much of everyone's time when they're in lockdown and haven't got much else to do. But thanks very, very much for being so much fun and making such a fun film. Is there anything that you would particularly like to say to the audience before I turn you off?
Just thank you for everyone watching. Thanks for if you watch the film as part of the festival, that really means a lot to us. It's just really cool to be. This is our first film festivals experience, so it's really fun to be part of it.
All right, thanks very much, guys. Shall we all wave?
Thank you.
Bye.
And thank you very much for logging on. If you found us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, this will be shortly going live on Instagram, and then you'll be able to catch it up on the Kendal Mountain Festival player on the Running the Roof page. We're going to be doing these throughout the 10 days of the interactive festival. So look out for your favorite films and filmmakers. If you've got someone you'd love us to interview, why don't you let us know, give us a message on Instagram. My name's Claire Carter. I am at the Kendal Mountain Festival, and thank you very much indeed.